disagree with the NATO on matters Raila Odinga, but we agree on, in principles, what we want to do as a people, what do we achieve. And I think when you look at the track record of someone who had very minimal time, remember when NATO get to parliament, some of you may remember, some may not, he was the youngest person to be elected as a member of parliament in the, what we call Lone Nyanza. So go look at that. He didn't have that experience in terms of having been in position, but he had that vision. Why did he get that position? Perhaps because the people saw what he had. And after that, he delivered. And that's why he was able to serve, even when he was not aligned to the party leader. And these are some of the issues that, and I think when we begin to have these issue-based politics, what we're actually discussing now, whereby we come in as a United Green Movement, then we can deconstruct these issues that we've had before and try to lean towards these things that make sense, so that it can be something that is fruitful to the populace, the people who are the electorate, so that it does not harm the body politics. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Just do you want to say something else?
Thank you very much, Party Leader. I'd like to comment on the issue of new blood. We are seated almost 15 people in this room, and if I was to ask Jen today, Jen, would you run for president in Kenya? The reason why Agostino Neto, for example, is here trying to bring new ideas is because most people in Kenya, by the way, are not ready to lead a revolution. You cannot just come out from nowhere today and lead a revolution. You cannot. Why? Kenyan politics is, I think, one of the most difficult fields to get into. And if we were to say we want new blood everywhere, trust me, it would be very difficult for you to even join that revolution, because everybody wants something they can relate to. Number two, Agostino Neto was an MP for 2 terms. And when we came in, everybody, when he was saying he's called Neto, most of us did not actually know him. Am I speaking the truth? Why? Because when he was MP, he did not do anything bad that got into the citizen wrong. If Oscar Sudi was to walk in today here, trust me, even if you've not been in Kenya for 15 years, akisema anaitwa Sudi, first thing, I am sure there is something you will pick, even if it is from the internet. So if we were to say Agostino Neto, for example, is bad today, let us be objective, for example, and say, Agostino Neto, when you're MP for the 10 years you were, you did this and this, which we do not agree, please change the blood now. Sasa badilisha damu, ukue mtu mpya, ndio to support the idea ambayo uko nayo. So let us be very careful with who we want to associate with, and let's also be objective. If we are talking about United Green Movement, now we have said these are the ideologies we have, this is our manifesto. I am asking you, please support us based on the ideology. We might not like each other, by the way, here. Even Kina James Orengo, they normally say they don't actually like Raila, but the fact that you really have to like Raila to win elections in Luo Nyanza, that is why they follow Raila everywhere and they sing Raila. Because they have a common interest. So for us here, if our common interest is the ideology of this party, let us support the party. Lakini ikifika ile saa ya dunda, wenye hatupendani, tunaweza enda nyumbani. Lakini tukirudi kwa chama sasa ile tunasema let us protect the environment, to protect environment. Tukisema we are fighting for social justice, we meet there, tunapigania haki, tunaenda nyumbani. So let us not let us not be very critical on politicians past. As long as hakuna kitu mbaya walifanya. I'm not saying, I have heard you have land in Narok. Maybe the next time you're coming to Narok, I will be running for women rep. And maybe people will be saying, by the way, I'm not a good person, because I'm not saying I'm a good person. But for you, Francis, because we've met in Sweden, si hauna kitu mbaya against me, you will tell people, please let's vote for her. Si mtu mbaya. So that's true. So let us support each other on ideology. Let us sell the party manifesto. Na tutajaribu kubadilisha damu kama kuna mahali tumekosea in the past. Because in Kenya, by the way, if you are a politician, I'm sure tulikuwa tunapenda Ruto wengi. But when he got into office, by the time alichagua cabinet, tukatoka already tukaanza kusema Ruto ni mtu mbaya. Because the people he brought on board kwa hii cabinet yake is not what we had expected. So saa zingine, by the way, when you become a politician, ni rahisi sana kuchafuliwa jina, even when you have not done anything. So let us, because Neto amejitoa ku lead a revolution that is going to change Kenya. Change Kenya based on governance, based on development that we want. Please tumshikilie mkono na tusonge mbele.
Okay, thanks. A couple of things. You've said 4 things. I mean, I'm really keen about dancing. It's the whole reason why we're here. So I'll be brief. I think the last Gen Z revolution in Kenya would have seen light of day if it had leadership. If the Gen Z revolution in Nairobi had leadership, they would have gone far, because then it would have been possible. Power abhors vacuum, and you cannot contest political power with a formless nature of contestation. The only arena that you engage in is, it must be political. Fire sharpens, fire just meets with fire. So for you to outdo the current political construct in Kenya, you must be in a political party, you must be in a political formation. There's no two way about it. By the way, you know, whenever you're discussing governance is not utopian. Governance does not exist it's not in a mist. Countries are run on the basis of political parties. So you cannot argue that you want to be partyless, you want to be formless. I mean, it is good. You cannot be, I mean, so if you're leaderless and you're partyless, and I think they learned. That is why the Kenyan Gen Z movement has moved to Gen Zote. They've agreed that it is possible to have some old blood mixed with the new blood, so long as it's the basis of character and values. So values and aspirations and character, then we're moving together, because you need a bit of old folk to tell you there's nothing new under the sun. Those of you who read Ecclesiastes. So you cannot come here and start telling us, sisi, you're 19-year-old, at sasa sisi hatuelewi, hatuendi unaelewa, unaelewa nini? You know, because sababu mko na AI. No. We can make together so that, I mean, when Lillian and myself sit together, when I tell about the 1990, that in 1990, we were fighting for multi-party democracy. Of course, she was not born in 1990. She looks at me like, what? What was the fight about? We didn't have TikTok.
We didn't have social media.
We didn't have social media. She'll tell you. TV was shut, but we were still moving handbills.
And we didn't have internet.
And we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
So, but we still.
We had KBC only.
Only, yeah, but we still moved.